What if you realized that the clock is no longer something ticking on the wall, but something echoing inside you? What if you woke up one morning at 60 or 70, sat at the edge of your bed, and whispered, "Is this it?" Not with despair, but with an aching question, have I truly lived? If you've ever felt that quiet urgency, the pull to live more deeply, not one day, but now, leave a comment. Now is my time. Because no matter what's behind you, life is still unfolding. This is not about chasing dreams or rewriting the past. It's about inhabiting the present like never before. Buddhism doesn't ask you to escape your age or your reality. It invites you to wake up inside it, fully, fiercely, with grace. Many people think that after 60, life is supposed to slow down, that it's a time of stepping back. But what if this is the exact moment to step in? Not into busy schedules or false achievements, but into deeper presence, into fuller breath, into the kind of living that doesn't waste a second trying to be somewhere else. Living fully now doesn't mean doing more. It means being more awake. It means no longer postponing peace, no longer waiting for the right moment to feel joy, no longer carrying regrets like bricks in your pocket. Because the truth is, you've lived long enough to know that things don't always turn out as planned. People leave, bodies change, time moves faster than you ever imagined, and yet here you are breathing, conscious, aware, still able to choose how you meet each moment. That choice is everything. Buddhist wisdom doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for presence. Thich Nhat Hanh wrote, "Because you are alive, everything is possible. And even after 60, even after heartbreaks, failures, and losses, you are still here. And because you are still here, it is not too late." The practice begins now. To live fully is to touch each moment without numbing, without rushing, without judging. To sit with your tea and actually taste it. To watch the sun without needing to capture it. To speak to someone and really hear them. This isn't poetic fluff. This is radical awareness, and it's hard. Especially when you've spent a lifetime doing, building, providing, managing. You've been responsible. You've held others. Maybe you've put yourself last more times than you can count. But what if this chapter is different? What if living fully now means coming home to yourself? The Buddha spoke of the importance of direct experience, not hearsay, not theory, but feeling life directly, intimately. He taught that the only real moment is this one. Everything else is memory or projection. So to live fully now means to stop bargaining with the future and start saying yes to the life that's already happening. Yes to the wrinkles that tell a story. Yes to the silence that teaches peace. Yes to the body that may move slower, but still carries wisdom. Because even the smallest act done with full presence becomes sacred. Washing a dish, folding clothes, breathing in and out. These become temples of awareness when you stop rushing through them. And yes, grief may still linger. Regret may still knock on the door. But mindfulness teaches us not to turn away, to open the door and greet these visitors with kindness, to say, "You belong here too." Living fully after 60 is not about denying loss. It's about being more alive because of it. Because when you've touched sorrow, you understand the sweetness of joy. When you've sat in darkness, you no longer take the light for granted. Many people think that joy fades with age, but Buddhist wisdom says otherwise. True joy, mudita, is not dependent on youth or health or circumstance. It is a state of mind that arises from deep presence, from gratitude, from seeing clearly. You can walk slowly and still dance with the moment. You can have fewer years ahead and still feel infinite in spirit. You can sit in stillness and feel more alive than when you were rushing through life trying to be somebody. And maybe that's what living fully really means. Letting go of who you thought you were supposed to be and loving who you actually are. The late Buddhist teacher Ram Dass said, "We're all just walking each other home." After 60, perhaps your walk becomes quieter, but more meaningful, less about proving, more about being, less about getting, more about giving. But this giving doesn't have to be grand. It can be the warmth in your voice, the softness in your gaze, the presence you offer in a world starved for attention. When you are truly here, others feel it. When you listen without waiting to reply, hearts open. When you slow down, others remember to breathe. You become a mirror for what matters, not through preaching, but through being. And isn't that the greatest gift of all? To live in such a way that your presence brings others home to themselves. This is the hidden power of aging with awareness. You become a vessel for wisdom, not the kind found in books, but the kind etched into your soul by years of showing up, falling down, getting back up. You are not behind. You are not done. You are not invisible. You are ripening, and the fruit of age, when touched by mindfulness, is delicious, rich, deep, nourishing. So, if the world tries to make you feel small, or slow, or less than, remember this: the Buddha was not young when he awakened. He had walked a long road, seen the world, tried every extreme, and in the end, he found the middle way. Maybe your middle way begins now. The balance between doing and being, between striving and surrendering, between memory and presence. You don't need to chase peace anymore. You only need to stop and feel it. Right here, right now. Say this to yourself: I am not my past. I am not my fears. I am this breath, this moment, and it is enough. You don't need to wait for a sign. This is your sign. You don't need to be someone else. This is your invitation to be fully you, and you don't need to hold the entire world anymore, just your place in it. If you've lived over 60 years, you've lived through storms. You've loved and lost. You've failed and recovered. You've laughed in moments where you thought you'd never smile again. And maybe now, more than ever, you are beginning to understand that living fully is not about how much time you have left. It's about how present you are with the time you have. Buddhist wisdom invites us not to measure life by its milestones, but by its moments. And each moment holds a chance to return to the breath, to the heart, to what is here, instead of what was or what could be. This return is the path of liberation, and it begins not with changing your outer life, but by softening your inner gaze, by looking at your own life with compassion, with gentleness, with the realization that even now, you are not late, you are not behind, you are exactly where your path has led you, and that, in itself, is sacred. So what does it mean to live fully now? It means being honest with yourself, letting go of masks, speaking with integrity, no longer shrinking to make others comfortable, nor pretending to have answers you don't. It means giving up the race that exhausted you for so long and choosing to walk, not run. To walk not just to reach a destination, but to notice the flowers along the path. It means recognizing that regrets will visit, but they do not own you. The past may knock, but you don't have to let it in. Each day you wake up is another chance to begin again, not from scratch, but from wisdom. And if there are wounds in your heart, let them be. Tend to them like a garden, not a battlefield. Living fully after 60 is not about fixing everything. It's about loving yourself exactly as you are, even as you continue to grow. You are allowed to be a masterpiece and a work in progress, both at the same time. You are allowed to say, I still don't know who I fully am. That's part of the journey. In fact, it's often after 60 that the deepest self begins to surface, not the self built by roles or responsibilities, but the one that simply is. This is the time to meet that self, to greet it with kindness, to allow yourself the space to sit in silence without apology, to enjoy your own company, to remember that joy is not found in doing everything, it's found in doing one thing with your whole soul. And when sadness comes, which it will, you meet it not with resistance, but with reverence. You say, you are here. I will not run. I will sit beside you. Because in Buddhist teaching, all feelings are temporary guests. They arrive, they stay, they pass. Suffering arises when we cling to the joy or reject the pain. But freedom is welcoming all of it, not as punishment, not as test, but as the living, breathing texture of what it means to be human. After 60, you've earned the right to live deeply, to not explain yourself, to not waste time on things that dim your light. You've learned that peace is not the absence of noise, but the decision to no longer let the noise control your inner world. And maybe most of all, you've learned or are learning that love, real love, is not found in the past, nor promised in the future. It's here, in the way you speak to yourself, in the way you hold your own hand through uncertainty, in the quiet prayers no one hears but the universe. Living fully now means allowing love in not just romantic love, but love for life itself, love for the smell of morning, love for the wind through the trees, love for your body, not because it's perfect, but because it still holds you. You get to fall in love again, not with someone else, but with the moment. Again and again, you get to greet the mirror and say, there is more of me now, not less. More awareness, more soul, more truth. Yes, the body will change. The energy may wane, but don't confuse that with decline. Some of the strongest people walk slowly. Some of the deepest joy comes in quiet moments. The Buddha taught the Eightfold Path not as a rigid rulebook, but as a gentle guide. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. These are not steps reserved for monks. They are the breath of a life lived in wholeness. And now, perhaps more than ever, you are ready to live this path not perfectly, but sincerely. So speak kindly, move gently, give when you can, rest when you must, and forgive yourself daily. You're not supposed to have it all figured out. You're supposed to be awake for it. That's what living fully now means. Awake to this cup of tea, awake to this conversation, awake to this silence, awake to the fact that everything you've been looking for is already here, quietly waiting for your attention. So begin again, not with urgency, but with love. Begin again each morning by placing your hand on your chest and saying, "I'm still here. Thank you." Begin again with a walk that has no destination but peace. Begin again by being a little softer with the people you love, a little more patient with yourself, a little more grateful for the things you used to overlook. And when fear whispers, "It's too late," you smile gently and whisper back, "No. It's just beginning, because this is not the end. This is the flowering, and your presence is the blossom. You are not living in borrowed time. You are living in sacred time, and the moment you realize that, truly realize, it is the moment you are free. If this touched something inside you, write in the comments, "I choose to live fully now." Let this be a community of new beginnings, because no matter your age, the present moment is always young, and you are always invited to begin again.